Greetings, Bruce Phares here, Windermere Real Estate, Seattle, and checking in with you. I've got the 19th of April. It's Sunday, and we're going to do an interesting thing here today. We're going to take a look at the last week, but we're going to do it in relationship to the same week a year ago. So let's just jump right into it. I look at actives, and I'm looking at pending inspections. I'm looking at those pendings, and I'm looking at 6-day off markets, and then I'll look at a few of the ratios over here. I'm going to primarily focus on my 7 days. So where are we right here? Let me come up. There we go. Come on. There we go. 143 right there. So Saturday, yesterday, looking backwards 7 days, 143. Looking back from Friday, that fuchsia means that's the highest number of new actives in a week time frame from Friday going backwards since we had shelter in place. And let's quickly look at the low since shelter in place. It was 67. And then we had a surge right before shelter in place. We crested 200. And our highest number for the year was 214. So that surge was fairly close to that. And then we started dropping and we ended up at 67, which is not too low. And then we started making our way back upwards and we are at 143, 161. Last year at this time, 124, it looks like it was dropping for a second there. 150, we'll call it right there, 140, 169. So call it, high 140s, low 150s on average for that time frame. So not a heck of a lot of difference between what we are right now and what we were then in terms of actives. Totals, 547, that's the highest number since shelter in place. Our highest for the year was, where was it? It was 516. And last year around this time, we had a higher volume of active listings in the pool during that time frame. Pending inspections, those properties that go into contract but still have a contingency for inspection. Our numbers at 37. So here's our highest number since shelter place at 43. Let's look at our low really quickly. It was 18, and we probably had a surge right there of 32. Prior to that, our highest number for the year was 42. So not a huge set of differences there. Let's go back up. There we are. There's our fuchsia at 43. Last year at this time, 7 days, we're in the mid 50s, right? Right there for pending inspections. And totals were much higher there than they are now, but that's not really relative or relevant to me. Pendings, those properties that get into pending status as a result of coming in from pending inspection and also coming in from 6-day off markets and going directly into pending. So 67, highest number since shelter in place once again. 35 was our lowest number since shelter in place. And then we had a surge right here, 112. And okay, 112. I'm sorry, I had to take a call there. 112 pending. That is our crest. I'm not sure if I did this yet, so I'll do it. 135, highest for the year right there, right? And so let's see how it happened from shelter in place. Where's our 326? Forgive me, 112 is our surge prior to shelter in place. Our low for pending was 35, 112. In the weeks prior to, we were in the 110s, 120s. Highest was 135 again. 112 was the surge right then, and then we started dropping down to 35, and then we start making our way back up again, and we are at 67. Now, last year, pendings, we were in the, let's call it the 90 range in terms of weekly time frame, and our totals were in the mid fives. Excuse me, and those were bumping around 400. Okay, 6 days off market. Those properties going off market within 6 days or less, typically waiving structural inspection and typically being in a competing environment. Highest number since shelter in place for the 7 days, and that's let's put an average of 45 on that grouping right there. But we do have the highest number, and clearly we're pushing. We might be pushing up. I'm guessing that lowest number since then was 24, so it's just half of it. And the surge right before was double it. I'm being really rough with my numbers. Anyway, you know what I mean. 96, and that was the highest number for the year. Frankly, that surge that took place there in that week time frame. Going back to last year, it was half of that. In terms of the surge, and where we are at right now at 52 is not that much different than where we were at this time of year last year. To me, that's stunning. 45, that's right, 45 versus, say, 55, okay, for fun. And total of 236, here's our totals, and that's the lowest total at 210. Let's do this. We've been in the, gosh. So we had a surge right here just prior to going, this is in total volume of 6 days off market. We had a surge here. Yeah. I mean, that's really, forgive me for being a geek, that's really stunning to me. Let's go take a look at our ratios then. Come on up here. 6 day off markets in relationship to the pendings and pendings. So question is, of these two right here that have taken place in a week, how many of them did it in a 6 day time frame? Of these two, how many in 6 days? And the ratio is 50%. So for every property that went into pending status, half of them went in there 6 days or less. And that's very seller slanted. And then 6 day off market in relationship to new actives in a weekly time frame, we're still hanging around the 30% mark, basically. A little bit of a lull there, a little bit of a high there. And here's our couple day post surge, which was just basically reacting to all this activity here, brings that to that. So if that's the case, 50 and 36, what do we go down and look at the ratios here? They were in the high 30s, and they were, wow, again in the mid 30s here, bumping up and down, versus this right around 30. So just let's call this 35 for fun, and let's just call this 30 for fun. Not much difference. So that's it, guys. That's the ratios right now. And remember, that's under our shelter in place situation. I was out showing yesterday. I had to do an inspection yesterday morning, and then I had to go and show a couple houses after that to 2 different clients that wanted to see new properties that had just come on market. And it was interesting to see other agents out there doing the same thing. Buyers are out there in this marketplace doing what they have to do for the somewhat, I want to say somewhat lower inventory, but that is actually not the case. Look at our numbers here. On our weekly versus this, the pending pool, the active pool is well below what it was a year ago. Okay, that's the report for the week, and we'll talk to you tomorrow, and I hope you stay safe and have a wonderful Sunday afternoon.